Hello, everybody, and welcome to another installment of On the Clock. I am your host, James Colston, and I'm here joined by the lovely Michael Aldridge. How are you doing?
All right.
Very nice, very nice. If you have been cluing into the show by now, you know the drill. And without further ado, we are on the clock. So, Michael, how about a little introduction from you? Tell us what you do. Tell us the things you're interested in.
Oh, I'm just a bit of a movie buff. I've always wanted to work in the movie industry. I moved up to Scotland from the southwest of England about 3.5 years ago because of just terrible things. But I moved up to Scotland just to explore Scotland and enjoy its history and its culture and the Highlands and all that.
So, how have you enjoyed your time so far, and whereabout did you move up from?
So it's a town not far from Bristol called Weston-super-Mare.
All right.
And it's where I lived most of my life, and I decided to move up here about 3.5 years ago because I just needed a big restart. And I thought to myself long and hard, like, where shall I go to? And I thought I just chose Scotland because it's just one place I always wanted to explore, see all the historical sites, and go camping in the Highlands and whatnot. So there's the photography aspect of it, the history aspect of it.
That's a very nice one. But that is the first 60 seconds out of the park. So you wanted to talk to me about a movie you've seen. I believe it starts with a cool, I think.
Yeah, so we just had the Winter Olympics. So I thought, why not just talk about Cool Runnings? It's a movie from 1993 by Disney, and it's 50-50 factual and non-factual. Basically, Jamaican bobsled. Basically, it's based on the Jamaican bobsled team. Like the majority of winter sports are by mainly the main competitors are those that have access to a lot of snow, like Norway, and the people that did the Winter Olympics for Italy. The old people that live up really far north in like Turin and Milan. They have access to the Alps, so it was basically loosely based on when Cool Runnings went to the Olympics in 1988, and they ended up having a big crash,
Oh dear.
And they had to fight against being the odd ones out.
I hate to rush, but that's our second subject up. You've cut me off for 15 seconds. So I recently watched the film Dogma, the first real view of the View-Ask universe with Jay and Silent Bob, and it's mainly about two fallen angels and Azazel trying to make their way up to heaven through a loophole of the Catholic Church, and a lot of stuff happens in between. It's genuinely really, really funny. I would greatly suggest Dogma as a good stepping stone into the View-Ask universe. If you're not familiar with the likes of Kevin Smith, or if you don't know the name Jay and Silent Bob, I would definitely recommend that film as that kind of stepping stone into that. Now, next to our second to last subject, you wanted to talk to me about a certain film that was directed by the same guy that made Home Alone.
Yes, Christopher Columbus. So
yeah,
we are now at the 25th anniversary of the very first Harry Potter movie,
Philosopher's Stone. It's called Philosopher's Stone, by the way, all you Americans.
It's Philosopher's Stone, not the Sorcerer's Stone.
Not Sorcerer's, no.
And the TV show will not be using the Sorcerer's Stone at any point. I've had that confirmed.
That's good.
It's only going to be the Philosopher's Stone in the new version.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 25 years, how time flies.
Genuinely, I think I was like 25 years. That's actually older than me. That's like older than me by like 4 years.
It makes me feel old. I was roughly the same age as when the movies were coming out. I was roughly the same age as Harry. So when I was about maybe 1 or 2 years younger than him. So when he was going through, high school, when he was going through Hogwarts, I was going through high school at the same time as him.
Ah, so that's interesting. So you're like the same age as Daniel Radcliffe.
I'm a few years younger.
Okay, fair enough. Now, anyways, for the last subject of mine, I'm going to be talking about a directorial debut, or so I've been told, I could be corrected, of James Cameron Terminator 2 Judgment Day. I personally, after watching the original Terminator and seeing them both back to back, which I do believe is like the premium experience, seeing Terminator and Terminator 2 back to back, yes. I can safely say the Terminator 2, no shade to the original, it's genuinely the better product. It genuinely is incredible.
Most people think that Terminator 2 was the best Terminator of all of them.
Oh, definitely. But like the OG Terminator is just clawing behind. Just.
Well, Terminator 2 was ahead of its time when it came to CGI. They had to like develop and invent new ways of doing CGI for that film. So it was a big contribution to the world of cinema.
Absolutely. Genuinely, we wouldn't have films like Toy Story if it weren't for that, and probably like Lucasfilm. But that's a story for another day. And speaking of, that's us out of time. Would you look at that? Well, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but don't fret, but we will be back. Thank you for listening to this episode of On the Clock. Good night.